painter, and this is my WIP and Chat for Melody. It's the last week of this WIP and Chat. I'm sad. I'm so sad. It's been such a pleasure to work with Mindy and Maritza. Mindy is Mindy's Diamond Moment. Maritza is Kiss My Crafts. They are two wonderful, wonderful people that I've so enjoyed getting to know and getting to kind of find out about their lives in the 60s and 70s, because Melody is kind of a 70s hippie chick, and we are going to have a 70s party this Friday, so you won't want to miss it. It will be on Mindy's channel. We did try a StreamYard to do this, and we'll be rehearsing even more for it, so it will be fun. So for my last WIP and Chat, I wanted, you know, I've told all of you I had kind of an unusual childhood. When I was 2 years old, we moved to Bangkok, Thailand, and I lived there for 7 years. Went to international school there, and it was an amazing place, an amazing culture, very, very different from obviously what all of us are used to. But just wanted to kind of share some things with you on Thailand. And I do have notes, and it was funny, when I was going over my notes for this video, I thought, oh my gosh, I was so young, what will I remember? And I remembered quite a lot when I started writing. And I'm a former English teacher, so I'm a writer to process. And so, you know, that was really neat to be able to recall all those memories of living in Thailand in the 70s. Again, my dad was in the military. So yeah, we moved to Bangkok, Thailand when I was 2 years old. I was born in Baltimore, and we moved from Baltimore to Bangkok, Thailand. We were in an apartment complex. I just remember all of that so fondly. It was awesome. However, I was a very stubborn child. Stubborn. My mother had a hard time with me. I've talked a little bit about that on some of my Mom Mondays. But anyway, I remember several major events in my life during that time. Two of those major events were cracking my head open twice. The first time was when I was 2. We had just gotten back from dinner out. The stairs in this apartment complex were terrazzo tile, and the stairs had metal slats on them at the edges. And I, again, was being stubborn, and my mother was like, honey, hold my hand, hold my hand. And I remember saying, no, I can do it myself. And when I said that, I got away from her grip and tumbled down the stairs and split my forehead wide open. Yes, we spent the rest of the evening in the ER, and my mother was so angry at me for being such a little toot. The nurses are giving me lollipops, and oh, she's so cute, blah, blah, blah. And my mother was like, yeah, grr. Ugh. She was not happy with me. The second time I split my head open was not such a stubborn time, just as a freak kid accident. I had a hippity hoppity. Does anyone remember what a hippity hoppity was? I know I've talked about toys of the 70s in former videos, but it was a hippity hoppity, and it was like a yoga ball with a handle on it, and you could jump everywhere. Well, apparently I hippity hoppity way over the line and split my head open again and had to be taken to the ER. And yeah, I had 9 stitches down the side of my head. Again, my mother was not too pleased with me. Living in Thailand too, again, you know, I made friends. I went to international school. There were a lot of expats there. So I had a neighbor, and she was like my best good friend. And one day, we decided to play hairdresser. Yes. And she had her hair in a ponytail, and she had very long hair. And we thought it would be fun if I took scissors and cut off her ponytail. She and I both thought it was a brilliant idea at the time. So I did. Yeah, it was a great idea until her mother took her hair out of the ponytail, and we both were shrieking and gasping, "Oh my God, what?" So yeah, I ended up having to go to the home of the neighbor and apologize to the child, who now had to have a bob haircut for a while, and her hair was really long. Yeah, whack that ponytail right off. Again, we thought it was a great idea. Probably not. In Thailand, the American dollar and the baht, Thai currency is the baht, and the difference between the American dollar and the baht was significant. And so we had the money to have a maid, a driver, a baby nurse when Malaya was there, but my very favorite person on earth was our housekeeper, and her name was Joy, and my middle name is Joy, and it's from her. And she was the most wonderful, patient person on the planet. I would literally hit the door from school and just drop everything, and she was right behind me picking everything up. I mean, I was spoiled rotten. Then we had Sombat, who was Malay's baby nurse. And again, we are not a wealthy family. We were not a wealthy family. My dad was in the military. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. But we could afford these things. Our driver, Mr. Kim, was just a very quiet man, and he'd just drive us to places where we needed to go. And if you'd ever have been in Bangkok traffic, yeah, we needed a driver badly to navigate that whole thing. Again, we lived in an apartment, and I loved it. I mean, I would wake up every morning and could see the countryside of Thailand and could see just beautiful, the land, the country, the people. It was awesome. I also could see some things that weren't exactly pleasant. You know how everyone's parents told them, you know, eat your dinner. There are people, you know, kids digging in the trash can for dinner. I could literally look out my window and actually see that happening. And so I never questioned that because it was happening around me. And the poverty level there was, you know, really high. And so again, when I looked out my window at dinner, I would eat, unless it was peas. Remember, I don't like peas. But yeah. There were, again, when you live in a different country than your own, they have different traditions, different celebrations, different everything. And I remember two of the celebrations that were absolutely my favorites were Loi Krathong and Songkran. Songkran was so fun because it was the water festival. So in the spring, when it would start the rainy season, everyone would celebrate Songkran. And I mean, literally, you could walk out of your house intending to go someplace, and somebody is dousing you with water, with a water gun, with whatever they could find to hit you with water with. And so, you know, you always had to kind of be careful around Songkran, because that was, yeah, you were going to get doused. That was fun. And then the other celebration that I loved, and I can still sing the entire song, Loi Krathong. Loi Krathong was a celebration of people in your life that had passed away, family members, that sort of thing. And the people of Thailand, and I did it too, would make what were called krathongs. And krathongs were floating paper boats, and you would put a little votive candle in them, and you would float them down a river, and you would sing the Loi Krathong song. And it was really fun. And it was very special. It was very reverent. It was very quiet. And to see all these beautiful floating creations that people had made and were for loved ones was really special. I loved that. So, Loy, Loy, Creton. I'm not going to sing. I'm sorry. But yeah, I remember that song. So those were kind of two celebrations that were really special to me. And then, oh my gosh, there were the landlords of our apartment complex. They were Mr. and Mrs. Tim. And I've always wondered what happened to them, where they are, where they were. They were the nicest people ever. I would go over, she would feed me. Mr. Tim was the nicest man ever. And, my dad and I have talked about it recently, and I've said, I wonder what happened to Mr. Tim, because I remember him as a child. And again, they had a lovely house right on kind of the perimeter of the apartment complex. And, I was welcome anytime, could go over there, and they, again, were so hospitable and so just great people. Interesting things happen, again, when you're in a foreign country with different animals, different, species, whatever. I remember Joy, our housekeeper, she would take me out to kind of entertain me. We'd buy food off of the street carts, and my mother would have a fit. You did not eat off of a street cart. I'm like, yeah, it was really good, Mom. Noodles? Yeah, awesome. She would be a little upset. Anyway. So one day we were, again, on the perimeter of the apartment complex in the trees. And again, this is Southeast Asia, so it's jungle, basically. And we were right beside Mr. Tim, our landlord's house, and this monkey appears. And he's so cute. Oh my gosh. I can't remember what type of monkey he was, but I just was in love with this monkey. And Joy, our housekeeper, holds me up, not thinking I'm gonna do what I'm about to do, and I hold my hand out. Well, this monkey went from being really cute to really mean really quick, and he bit me, or she bit me. I don't know of course, the gender of the monkey, but I mean, bit me. Had to go to the hospital, get stitches, rabies shots. I mean, all this stuff. And my mother was like, Kara, can you please? It was pretty funny. Not at the time, because it was quite painful. But yeah, yeah. So been bitten by a monkey, chuck that up. In addition, in foreign countries, there are different diseases you can get. And I got one of the most serious diseases you can get. Leave it to me. In our apartment complex, they had, parties, what have you, downstairs. And they had a bar area. Knock one of these off, sorry. A bar area. And it was a teak wood bar. Everything in Thailand, if it was going to be wood, it was going to be teak wood, which is beautiful. But yeah, so we were playing hide and go seek with friends, and I decided to hide in this bar. So I went behind the teak wood bar, and they had a kind of cut out space there, so I hid there. What I didn't know was I was hiding in a nest of mosquitoes, and got bitten many times. And one of the mosquitoes was carrying what's called dengue fever. And my parents almost lost me. I mean, it was bad. Essentially, the disease, stomach issues, just to make a long story short. I'm not gonna go into the details, but I mean, I was sick with stomach issues for probably 6 to 7 weeks. I was on IVs, everything in the hospital. My mother was freaking out. So yeah, dengue fever, that wasn't fun. And to this day, because of that, I cannot donate blood, which makes me sad, but at the same time, you know, don't want to get anyone else sick because it's in your body for forever once you get it. Sunday market. Oh, Sunday market in Bangkok, Thailand was very interesting. And we'd always go, my parents would take me, and there would be people, and when I tell you, they were selling every type of anything you can find. I mean, goat heads. They were selling everything. And they would also have cobra fights. Yes, king cobra snakes. And I'm witnessing this in the Sunday market. And that was interesting as well. You know, again, got a lot of experience during that time. They would get a king cobra and a mongoose and watch them fight, and it was crazy. But yeah, you could pretty much find anything at the Sunday market. My parents went mainly for the produce because the produce in Thailand is incredible. Pineapple, coconut, I mean, any type of papaya, mango, and it was beautiful fruit and vegetables, and they were amazing, and that's why they would go. But of course I'd get caught up in the let's go watch the cobra fight. So yes, that was the Sunday market. What else do I remember? Travels. Because we were in Southeast Asia, I was able, with my parents, to travel to so many places. You know, people talk about Phuket, Thailand, and that's, you know, the luxurious beaches and all that. Went there, did all that. Didn't appreciate it at the time because I was so little, but yeah, I've been to Phuket, been to Pattaya Beach, been to all of those places. We've also been to China, we've been to Japan, we've been to Hong Kong. We have been, the Philippines. Okay, let me tell you a little bit about Hong Kong. Hong Kong is kind of like New York. It's really busy, it's a metropolis, and it has a lot of people in it. So, and remember I told you I was stubborn as a child, so I sort of got away from my parents and ventured off and found myself in a beautiful silk and shoe store. In the meantime, my parents are freaking out. They're panicking. I'm gone. Like, they can't find me, and it's crowded. It's like losing your kid in New York City. So they're like, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. When they finally found me, I was in the store. The owners had served me tea, cookies. I was having the time of my life, and my parents were just, Kara, I'm gonna kill you. What are you doing? Oh, I'm having tea with these nice people. You know, didn't even realize I was lost, didn't care I was lost. It was just, oh, you're gonna feed me and give me tea? Great, awesome, this is gonna be great. Another place we went that was interesting was the hill country in Thailand. And the hill country was different than where I lived in Bangkok. Of course, it was the hill country, so it was rural, but their main staple was opium. And they had opium dens and all this stuff. And, you know, my dad still has a video of me running through this field, and it's opium poppies. I'm running through opium poppies, and they're really pretty. The poppies are really pretty, but yeah, they are used to make opium. So that was quite interesting as well. Again, like I said, I've lived a very interesting childhood. The religion in Thailand was Buddhism, and so we had a lot of beautiful Buddhist temples and Buddhist monks. They would be walking the streets in their orange robes. Thailand was a very colorful country as far as just the landscape and the people and everything. And I just remember these Buddhist monks and going into these Buddhist temples. You know, I was and still am Christian, but it was just interesting to see the different religions, the different types of people, the beliefs. And again, Thai people are amazingly beautiful people. They will go out of their way to help you find things, to, you know, help you find bargains, what have you. I remember our housekeeper would take me to the market to get food and to get things that she needed, because I was so fair-skinned and still continue to be, but because I was so fair-skinned, the Thai people thought that was good luck, and they would touch my face all the time, touch my skin, because they felt like that was good luck. I kind of got creeped out by it as a child, but now, you know, I understand it was just kind of part of who they were. Again, the street carts. Oh, the street carts. They weren't exactly sanitary, you know, just weren't. But they had the best noodles, and so, you know, we'd sneak away, my housekeeper and I, and go get some noodles off a cart every once in a while. She wouldn't do it too often because she knew my mother would get upset, but we loved it. As far as, Marlon's telling me to wrap it up, fine. As far as learning to read, I taught myself to read in Thailand. And I taught myself to read because everything, of course, in Thailand was written in Thai. And so my mother would record books for me and color code a dot on the tape and color code the book. And I would match them up on, you know, Saturday or Sunday morning, get up and just basically I taught myself how to sight read. And I was reading probably before first grade. And so, you know, that was really cool. All right, last story. I'll wrap it up with this because Marlon is telling me to wrap it up. The Thai language is very, very different and very, very difficult to learn. It's not only how you say something, it's how you inflect your voice to say it. And so, you know, my parents went to language school before they went to Thailand and, you know, learned the best they could the Thai language. And my mother went into the fabric store one day and wasn't quite paying attention to what she was asking for, and the entire store cracked up at her because she was asking for a bolt of fabric and she actually asked for a tiger. So it was pretty funny. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up because I'm being given the high sign to wrap it up. So, Mindy and Maritza, this has been a pleasure. I will keep working on it throughout the week. I have enjoyed this tremendously. Love Melody, love the two of you. Please check out Mindy's Diamond Moment and Kiss My Crafts with Maritza. They're two amazing ladies, and I couldn't have asked for two people to start a collab with that were so nice to me and so helpful, and I love them both, and they will always be my friends. So I'll wrap it up with this. In a world where you can be anything, be kind. Tune in Friday for our 70s party. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be, Saturday on Mindy's Live. That's when we're doing our 70s party, and we are doing giveaways. What do you do to get a giveaway? Not a whole lot. You just have to comment on these WIP chats. That's all you've got to do. You don't have to be doing Melody. We didn't want to make it hard for people. Just comment something you liked, something you might not have. If you've ever been to Thailand, love to hear about it, or love to hear about your thoughts on any of the other WIP chats. But just comment, and then we're going to use a comment picker to pick our winners. All right. Again, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. This is the Principal Painter, and I am signing off.